Since the day James Webb is launched in space, it has been making rounds on the internet, and every single discovery of the telescope is sending people into a frenzy. James Webb has recently discovered something yet again, and it has shocked even the top-tier astronomers. So, is it a warning from outer space, or just space debris that has made contact with James Webb? Make sure to watch this video to the very end to find it all out. The pictures captured by James Webb were recently presented to the world, and these pictures shocked the world. Even in the most initial discoveries of James Webb, it managed to look deep into space and find objects billions of years in the past. A lot of people are now calling it proof that time travel exists. It is another debate whether time travel actually exists or not, but there's no other explanation of what James Webb has done. It has looked billions of years back in the past and helped us to see some of the earliest stars and planets that came into existence after the Big Bang. Researchers are now studying these stars and trying to figure out when they were born and what was their composition, so they could solve the recurring questions that haunt our minds for years. It's actually exciting to think that we're now closer than ever to solve the mysteries of space and our own world. However, time and again, certain phenomena occur that are hard to explain, even by the scientists themselves. Recently, the James Webb telescope managed to get a signal that literally shook the whole space industry. This signal was a huge wake-up call for people who were denying the efficiency of James Webb. This signal was then analyzed by researchers at Dominion Radio Astrophysical Observatory, and they found out that the signal lasted for about 3 seconds, and it was consistent, a lot like a heartbeat. It felt more like a phenomenon, and it was actually recurring, so astronomers were stunned because before this, they never got to see a periodic signal. The heart-beating signal seems to be coming from a distance of billions of light years. So we really can't know what it is without the help of James Webb. And there's a chance that the astronomers might use James Webb in the near future to find out the truth behind this signal. It's actually very puzzling and concerning at the same time, because catching signals from a great distance is not something that happens every day. Some people are considering it a warning from outer space, and are concluding that it's just a proof that aliens do exist. Some of them are saying that there's a possibility that someone billions of light years back in time is using some sort of signal to communicate with us, or with some other species, and we just accidentally caught the signal. But these theories sound a little far-fetched, considering that we haven't even been able to find out any traces of extraterrestrial life yet. So we can't completely wipe out the chance that these signals could be warnings. But there's a chance that it's some other phenomenon that we can't really explain. Also, if we look into the alien theory, we're actually talking about a distance of billions of light years. And when we travel such great distances, we actually start traveling back in time. So how is it possible that extraterrestrial beings had such advanced equipment that they were sending signals from such vast distances? And if it's true, just imagine how developed they would be in the present. It might not sound as practical and scientifically possible, because there's no proof of the existence of life in outer space yet. However, our whole being is a good enough proof, because it isn't possible that in billions of galaxies, ours is the only planet that gets to host life. Even if we look at it mathematically and calculate the chances of this happening, we have to cave to the possibility of life on other planets. However, conspiracy theorists have given this signal a whole different meaning, and some of them are even calling it a whistle of warning from aliens, which might not be the case. The scientists obviously are looking at a rational and practical end of things and are trying to find out the exact reason that's causing these signals. NASA has even created a team of experts that will be analyzing the data and signals that we gather from outer space. That's because most signals that we gather are often lost when we don't study them or analyze them properly. Plus, this data from space could help us better understand what exactly is happening beyond our solar system. So, this heartbeat signal has caused quite a stir in the space industry. And it also blew up on Twitter, because NASA didn't have answers to a lot of questions. And people are now saying that they do know where these signals are coming from, and what they mean. Well, if NASA knew a lot about these signals, they wouldn't spend millions of dollars in getting an entire team on board, and making a fuss about it if they already knew all about the signal. It is also being said that James Webb will soon be working on finding life in space, and that would be the most interesting thing. Although a lot of people think that it isn't very fruitful to let a billion-dollar telescope work on something as bizarre as aliens. But even the astronomers know that there might be the possibility of an alien civilization out there somewhere. Some scientists are also considering this signal as some sort of energy coming from two stars orbiting each other. This by far is one of the most logical explanations that people in the scientific community are also willing to accept. They think that there might be a phenomenon in space that's causing these signals, and it's not related to life on other planets. And as much as we know about extraterrestrial life for now, this theory seems the most plausible explanation, while the others seem a little far-fetched. But in science, there's always a possibility for things to be changed. For example, when the first man put his feet on the moon, did we know that only a couple of decades later we'll actually be talking about colonizing Mars? This is how much we have advanced in only a handful of years. So who knows that if we continue to advance at this rate, in a decade or so, we might even find traces of life out of our planet, and find out the truth about all the bizarre signals we've ever received. But until then, we can't say much about it. There are scientists who support this narrative of life on other planets. However, conspiracy theorists give it a whole different image. They present it as a threat, while a lot of astronomers think that if aliens were present in this world, they might be more advanced than us, or at least equally advanced. So if they're not communicating with us, it might be intentional. There are a lot of questions that are yet to be answered about these bizarre signals that most people are considering warnings from space, but we're yet to discover what they truly are. So what are your thoughts about the signals and NASA's approach towards them? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, adios from our side.